Hey, it's Matt Hartnett from Aftershocks TV, and you're experiencing Poppitt's Corner.
Welcome to another episode of Poppitt's Corner,
Oh, yeah.
episode 32.
Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I haven't even introduced the guest yet,
Oh.
but I'm joined
Excuse me.
by my brethren of the kind of the same. We kind of do the same thing here. Extraordinaire journalist, Mr. Jay Nemeth. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That is how you pronounce the last name. Hopefully, Nemeth.
It's okay. I never correct anybody because I'm like, whatever.
Like Joe Nemeth. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
Oh, so Nemeth, he took the E's and made them A's, so everybody would pronounce it correctly.
Okay.
Because
That makes a lot of
Americans
sense.
don't say it correctly. So.
Yeah, I just fucked that up
Yeah.
too, just like people fuck up my band name. So.
Oh
I get it.
yeah. Oh, Mad Rost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time,
I
man.
love me some Mad Rost. And I think a lot of people actually say it Mad Rost to mess around because a lot of people know that it's Madrost. I mean,
or like
our
they do
friends.
with the same with your last name too. They know it's Nemeth,
Nemeth.
but they still say Nemeth.
Nemeth or Nemeth. Yeah. I've always gotten Nemeth. Always
Well, it's
Nemeth.
because that's the hard E,
Yeah.
the knee,
Yeah.
instead of a, it is what it is, right? But yeah, thanks
is
for
what it
coming
is.
on the show. I really appreciate it.
Of course, I appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah. So the basis of the show, I'm gonna go through pretty much your entire career on how you got to this
Yeah.
point. You're sitting in my
Yeah, definitely.
garage here. But let's start with the beginning and how you actually, where the hell you came from. That's a good place to start.
Well, what? Like?
Yeah, like how you got into journalism.
Oh, I've always liked to listen to podcasts and watch YouTube videos of interviews and stuff like that, and I've always wanted to do that. And my friend Alex, my co-host on Hellbound, put a post up on Facebook one day. Hey, I'm creating a podcast. Anybody want to join? And I jumped on that real quick. Because I was thinking of buying all the equipment myself, which I'm actually in the process of doing now, so I can kind of branch off. Not to like get rid of Hellbound, but just to have my own little outlet.
Of course, dude.
Yeah.
I encourage that stuff, dude.
Yeah,
Trust me.
for sure. So I can have a little bit of solo projects. I've actually been thinking about doing interviews for whatever genre. It doesn't have to be metal or
Right, it could
rock
be
and roll in
anything
itself. Like
you want, dude.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, any local artist because I really enjoy helping out artists that are trying to get their name out there. You know.
Well, we have a huge plethora of artists with not enough people capturing it. So
Right.
the more people, doing that, the more we win. Because we
Most
need
definitely.
documentarians now more so than ever.
I like that documentarian.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what we are.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
So,
Nice.
but okay, so you enjoyed podcasts so much. Got where did you actually find the link for Alex for Hellbound? He just
It's-
posted on like Craigslist or something. Did you say?
He had it on. We have a Podbean link. We have an iTunes link. We have a.
So he
a
posted
Facebook.
there, and you saw it, and you're like, "Oh, I want to jump on."
Oh,
this.
on Facebook. He
on
he just
Facebook.
did a status. Hey, I'm gonna create a podcast. Who's in? And I jumped on that real quick. So
Well, I mean, but
Yeah.
even before that, like, where did you did you play in bands before? Did you just like
No,
kind of came out of nowhere?
in high school, I was always going to local shows and seeing local bands there. They were all older than me. They're all older, older dudes in their 18, early 20s.
At the time,
And at the time, and I was 16, 15, 14. Shit, I was going to gigs when I was like 14 years old.
by yourself too.
Yeah, and like going with my sister, and
Yeah,
my
your
mom would drop us
Yeah,
off
your mom would drop us off in the minivan
and be
or
like,
something.
"All right, listen, don't come home drunk. Actually, I'm going to be picking you up, so don't be drunk when I pick you up." And I'm like, "We'll probably be high.
Okay,
maybe
I
drunk
won't
too."
I won't be drunk.
Yeah,
I'll be high.
yeah. I'll probably be high. My mom was cool. Like, she was a laid back stoner.
Okay.
So she knew when I first started at like 13, she knew that I was smoking, so she she was like,
So you guys started
Whatever, I
smoking
can-
at like an early age,
at 13,
dude.
13, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
crazy.
I stopped for years, and then I picked it back up and stopped, and picked it back up and stopped.
Did you pick it back up because it's now legal? So just
No, I just wanted to, really.
yeah.
Just-
Well,
just
I'm
wanted to.
going to partake in some smoking
Yeah.
action right now.
Do your
but-
thing.
Before I do or whatever, so after the shows or whatever, what were kind of the bands you started to see?
It was more it was Evicted, Exvited, and then just friends bands. The bands that Alex was in, I forget the dang name of his band that he was in. Oh, he was in Satriarch for a while.
Yeah.
But then there was one before that was another band that he was in, and I can't remember for the life of me right now.
I want to. No, he was always in Satriarch because I want to say the Opaque, but that's
Nah, it was before Satriarch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
can't remember. Sorry,
I don't
Alex.
remember. Yeah, sorry, Alex. My bad.
Why don't you come on the show here and tell us?
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
informative. You know. Anyway, so you would see a lot of local bands from like your high school. And
Yeah.
obviously, you're local
yeah.
to here, so it makes a lot of sense.
And then I didn't start getting into like the metal scene until about 2014, 2015 with the bands that are current today, you know.
A lot of those bands are probably gone.
from 2015.
No, you'd be surprised,
Maybe.
dude.
Shit.
A lot of them, like.
Well, I mean, I had a lot of bands on Hellbound. That was
Well, we're gonna talk
That's
about all
fine.
that stuff, but I'm talking about
yeah,
like
but
the
beforehand. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of those bands are gone. Evicted doesn't do anything. Exvited doesn't do anything. That Alex's old band
Satriarch
doesn't do
is
anything.
gone, you
Satriarch's
know?
gone. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much. I mean,
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised though, man. At
I
5
haven't
years
listened
is
to
a
any.
long
Yeah.
time for this local community that we have here. You know.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
And it goes
I mean-
by quick. That's those 5 years from 2014. Now you're in 2019. You know, so
Yep.
it's kind of quick, man. So
Yeah.
after you started doing the shows, you liked it so much that when you were doing the podcast, you bring the two, you know, into play here, like combine the two with the metal scene and now what's forming into Hellbound.
Yeah.
But before that, you guys weren't really that kind of a podcast. You were just like you and Alex talking. So
Yeah, it was honestly just us talking about random banter, honestly. Just things that we were interested in. Vaping at the time, comic books, Marvel this, DC that, whatever we were interested in. And then we had metal news as well. We were talking about metal. It was our demographic was metal, but it was more like commercial stuff more than the local scene. And one day I was like, Alex, dude, you're in the local scene. You have a band. You've been in bands. Why don't we bring bands on the show? Like, what are we doing here? Sitting here just rambling about bullshit. Like, I mean, it was fun. We had some fun episodes. The early episodes. I think the 31st episode was our first episode that we actually had a musician on.
now, who was it?
Rick Rangel from Fueled by Fire.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
that was-
I hope to get him on this podcast.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
How was his story? Did he tell you like? I guess I got to go back and watch the episode. Where can people find this stuff too?
Hellbound Podcast
Facebook.
official at Gmail. You can email or well, not Gmail. What am I talking about?
no. Why would they email you? No.
Yeah, why are you emailing me?
No.
Hold
no.
on. Time out.
But so wherever they can find this,
I mean, on Facebook, we got it on iTunes. Hellbound official on iTunes.
and like, how did you start on the 31st episode? Was it just you talking about what he was up to at the time, or just like?
We
Same
did the whole
shit.
band thing, tell him how he basically what we're talking about right now, man. How'd you get in the scene? What's going on? Like, how'd you get your love for metal? Basically, what we asked you on the show when we had Madras on the show.
Cool. So you used that
know?
same formula and just
Yeah,
carried into
yeah.
like 60 or 70 episodes or after that. So
Yeah,
fuck.
definitely.
That's awesome. Now, why Hellbound? Why the name Hellbound?
I named it that because I felt like hell and metal are one of the same. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're satanic, you listen to metal," kind of thing. So I figured it would be like it would just go together with metal. I mean,
Makes sense to me,
yeah,
dude.
I mean,
And obviously we have Dadrost sitting in with
and I'm
us
Hellbound. Yeah.
Hellbound sounds very dark.
too. Yes, it does.
It's awesome.
You know, a lot of people always like mistake it for like a religious podcast at first. They were like, "What?
I always
What's
thought
going on?"
I always thought you guys liked Pantera or something.
I mean, yeah, Pantera's
Because-
great. Yeah.
Because they had a song. They had a song called Hellbound.
Hellbound,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if it's.
No, it had no recollection whatsoever.
So after that 31st episode, how did it feel to interview somebody as opposed to you and Alex just chatting?
I really enjoyed that more. That's why after that, pretty much a big part of it was interviews versus just little random banter in episodes. Because we had episodes that were no bands on it in between certain ones because Alex was like, dude, let's relax. Let's have a regular episode instead of having a band on and doing all this homework. I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
There's really not that much homework though you have to do.
Not really.
You kind of let the guest like take
Yeah.
you on that journey.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
So after Rick, and first of all, I'm assuming you were the guy getting a hold of all the bands.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
get them interviewed. And Rick
I've-
was the first one that popped in your head, like, oh, we should get him on.
Actually, Alex got him on.
Okay.
I didn't even know who Rick was beforehand. I didn't even know who Fueled by Fire was until 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah. So when I found that out, I was like, damn, like they were good. I really enjoyed their stuff. That was awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then you would just hit up bands, say, hey, like we need, we're wondering
Yeah.
if you want to come on the show, like we'd love to have you, like.
For a while there, for like a year or a year and a half, it was me finding the bands and going out to shows and because Alex kicks it at home most of the time. He doesn't really go to shows unless like.
He's not
know.
actively like.
Yeah, he's not too active in the scene. I mean, he's active. He's got a band in the scene and he goes
Right.
to shows, but he kicks it at home.
He's a homebody. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. So I basically became the face of Hellbound, constantly going to shows, and people were like, "Oh, Jay, Hellbound." It was nice.
Yeah, because you were the
It's nice.
podcast guy
Yeah,
of
because-
this community.
Yeah, because people were asking like, so who's on your podcast besides you? And I'm like, you don't know Alex and Lawrence? Like, whoops. But I mean,
I didn't.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
A lot of people asked me like, who are your podcast co-hosts? I'm like, well, it's actually Alex's podcast because he's the tech and he has, he does the mixing and mastering and all that stuff. So, and I bring the peeps.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I was bringing a lot of bands.
Did you ever feel intimidated though because of that? Like where it's like, fuck, all this pressure. I have to bring in somebody.
No, because Alex kind of enjoyed just doing the podcast thing more than the interviews. Because he's like, well, we're not promoters. We're just, we're on a podcast, which is totally fine. That's cool. I mean, but we are promoters.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, we're in the scene, and it's one big metal family, man. Let's.
But you were a
support
promoter
it.
without trying to be a promoter. 'Cause
Exactly.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't make any sense. But
I
my
don't know.
point is, so and then who came next after the Rick episode? Who did you?
We had Nick DeFile on, and we had Alex's band on because we were.
Before they had the album out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was before. Yeah. And then we went to who did we go? Oh, we had DMT on. We wanted DMT on for a while, and it took quite some time to get them on. They just I don't know. We just lost contact. They were doing things. And sorry, my bad.
No, you're good.
Making a loud noise.
They can hear it. So thanks
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Thank
if
you
you're just
guys.
joining us, we have Jay Nemeth here,
Hey.
and obviously we have Dadrost. He wanted to jump in on.
Yeah, I
here.
am. I'm going to jump in again. The cool thing is that podcasts are obviously just because I'm an old dinosaur, but none of this stuff was really even around. So for me, it was listening to interviews and stuff on like KNAC and radio, like on the air radio.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's a venue for this with the technology and stuff, and then Hellbound,
So
and
awesome.
Tanner stuff's obviously picking up speed and stuff too, but Hellbound and like
Well, they
the
were kind of the
Razor and
first
stuff
to
like
do
that.
that
Yeah,
stuff. They were
but-
kind of
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah,
At least to have the video aspect too, which I
Yeah.
want to ask about.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want
yeah.
to call it high end stuff, but it's cool because like a lot
Oh, it
of
was high-end.
underground
The-
bands.
No, the quality, the audio quality was great.
Yeah, I guess what I'm referring to is like
Oh,
it's
you
not
mean, like,
some big
commercial
production thing.
stuff.
It's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
like
yeah, big
on
production.
the
yeah.
download, people can just have a couple beers and kick back.
Yeah,
And the good thing about you guys, whether it's the garage setting or it's like three of you, you all bring different elements to the show where you're asking different stuff and
Most
have different
definitely.
comments, and then
Well, that's obviously like a given.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know,
That's what's going to
there's
happen. When
like
you have
you're
a
bringing the
couple.
bands in and stuff. There's things you want to ask them to, and then you've got the
course.
podcast, and those guys have maybe different things they want to ask. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a good avenue. Is my point
Well,
is for all the bands to be able to talk about like what they're doing now, promote themselves and stuff.
I
So
I
it's
like the
definitely-
format of your show though. Like I like that you did research and didn't just
Yeah.
ask what was happening now. You asked like you asked interesting questions.
Where we already knew, like, kind of like, oh, so when this album came out, this
Yeah,
is
like you got
this.
details
Yeah,
of like
I
of
knew,
certain
yeah.
records and such. I really
Yeah, for sure.
I was kind of influenced on like that's really cool because
Yeah.
I think more of that needs to happen. So.
Yeah, because we want it to be kind of structured slightly. You know, we're not going to be
Right.
like, oh, so here's a thing of questions.
you're not gonna have sound
Answer
effects
these.
at like certain things. like-
Yeah, yeah. Here's a series of questions. Answer these to us so we already know the answers. Like, no. We need it to be live and have a flow to it, but still be able to have it structured where we're like, okay, we're going to do what we're going to ask them. Then we're going to do our homework on all their albums, when they started. So we know, but we want that flow to come out and, you know?
Yeah, you want it to be natural. It's
Yeah,
just-
we want it more natural instead
Well,
of...
it's also important. I think it's
Yeah.
important that, like, if you see like TV shows and stuff, if someone's coming on to promote something, usually
Yeah.
the person who's interviewing them has read their book or
Yeah.
seen the movie or
Oh, yeah,
whatever
of
it's supposed to be. So the fact
Yeah.
that you have knowledge of their stuff, I'm sure they appreciate that too, because
Most definitely,
you know
yeah.
you can ask other pointed questions
'Cause
or
they're
ask
like,
them
oh.
other
Yeah.
intricacies about their songs or albums or.
Because I was shocked at the questions he was asking us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like that's why I like that format, dude. I
Yeah,
like the
definitely.
element of surprise. And
Yeah,
so after all these episodes later, like who was your favorite guest?
Man, that's difficult. There was
Like-
a lot of good ones, man.
Well, yeah, I know, but give me like the top 5 that you really enjoyed.
Voices of Ruin was awesome. I mean, I love those boys. They're awesome.
I hope to get one of those guys on the show. That would be awesome.
When I had Nova Rain, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome to have them on. You can. I mean,
Jesus Christ, dude. Why can't I?
easy.
Dave, come on my show.
I think Dave charges.
Oh,
doesn't
he does. He probably
Dave charges. He's like, I need a 5th. No money needed. Just, give me a handle. We're good.
Okay, so voices.
Yeah, we had DMT on. Oh, well, my favorites you were talking about.
Yeah, just some of the ones that
Six is Nova Rain, Lazarus we had on. Those are always fun. I love Jason Tyler. He's awesome, and
we all do. Big shout out to
Lazarus
him.
Yeah, definitely. With everything he's doing, ADHD and
Yeah.
Lazarus and All God's Kill. Just a bunch of outlets, man. He's
The
got a
hardest
lot.
working person in
Yeah,
that scene.
he's a very hard working dude. Yeah,
It's,
for sure.
Probably the most hardworking in my opinion. It's hard to do what he
Man.
does.
Trying to make
And
that money,
then-
man.
who was your most surprising guest though to you? Like,
I really liked what DMT had to come and talk about. They literally talked about DMT for most of the part. They talked about like what their message was taking DMT and opening your mind and being able to see life at a different like a different level. It was really cool. It was interesting combos, man. Smart guys, very smart dudes. Yeah, Alistair's a very smart dude and he's very passionate about DMT. Very passionate. He's
obviously,
like,
you probably named the band then.
yeah,
huh?
that's what. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure
that's
of
what he
it. I'm
probably
sure of
said.
it. I don't even remember, but I'm pretty sure. Excuse me for that. Sorry, Alistair.
And what was
But
the one thing also that you took away from all these guests that it's like on why it was so important for them to be in this community?
What do you mean?
Like
why was it so important for them to be in this community? I mean,
yeah, like what did you feel like all these people brought? Like the one thing that all these people brought that you noticed they kind of had a similar connection.
I don't know. Dang.
You know what
That's
I
a good
mean?
question. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the love for metal. I mean, shit.
Well, they
Like
kind
I
of get
said,
to tell their story too, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, why they began doing what they did and how they met, and those things too. Yeah, that was pretty good.
And I guess so. What is you basically what would it would be like? What four of you guys in one fucking place plus guests, so it was like a party every week.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's a lot, dude.
For a while there, it was just us three, me, Alex, and Lawrence.
Uh-huh.
And then actually Lawrence left and Melissa came on as a guest at one time. And then she did so well on that one episode. We were like, damn, this girl knows her shit. Like, we got to get her on this show. Because Lawrence just had a child, and he kind of was laying low, like, hey, I'm not going to be podcasting as much. So we were like, okay, we need somebody that's consistent. So we just brought her onto the show, and then Lawrence would come back on at certain shows. Like certain bands would be there, and he's like, dude, I want in on that show because
That's cool.
You know. So I was like, all right, yeah, let's do that. So we'd bring him on too.
This is the show in the garage.
So.
Yeah,
Hellbound
yeah, because
Podcast.
they would have like a banner
Yeah,
and
in the
stuff
garage,
too.
with the couch.
In the garage.
Yeah, there was a couch in
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we had a little couch in there. Yeah.
I just like the.
Well, it was more like a
cool
like a
setting.
love seat thing.
Yeah.
it was
I
cool.
just like the fact that there was video, like a video aspect to it, because
yeah.
our community had been missing that kind of aspect, where
Yeah.
you might have had the audio, but the video there was just
I loved having that
non-existence.
visual aspect. I
Me
loved
too.
having that to be able to like show everybody like this, show everybody what we're doing here, sitting here, and so they can experience what we're experiencing
Yeah.
with the band there and see the whole band.
and
there.
they're having a good time. Hopefully, everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Checking it out. And then so once you had the concept down, I mean, it was pretty much easy to
It's
with every
repetitive.
guest.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
just kind of learn as you go. So what was your takeaway? Like, what was the one aspect where you learned the most on how to do a podcast?
Just having that little structured outlet where it was like, okay, we start with, how'd you guys get into music at all? Like not even playing it, just listening to this type of music, and then going from there where they like picked up a instrument, then met the people that they got into the band with, and
That's the one thing I took away from. I take away from all these guests. That's why I was
Yeah.
asking you, because they've all started the same way. They all ended the same way.
exactly.
And I'm
but they
very
all have their
surprised.
own little story of like what hiccups came
Right.
in.
So
like-
I just answered the question that I asked you. Right? You like how I did that? So it's just very interesting. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what kind of band you play in. It's just
Mhm.
you all start from the same place, and then you just end up playing
parents
in like a
brought you
type of different band,
Yeah.
depending on the bands that you listen to. That
Of course.
determine on what kind
genre,
of band
yeah,
you're
you're
gonna
gonna
play in.
be
You know,
playing in, of course. I mean, there's plenty of bands that listen to something completely different, but then that's what they fork out. It's,
Well, it's kind of like you, right? Tanner plays a show, and then when it's time to head home, whatever time, it's usually middle of the morning,
yeah,
and then we're listening to jazz or blues. and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
not anything.
yeah, and
just-
that's the same as me. Like I'd be listening to stuff
Maybe
like
it's
that
just
too.
to calm
Like cool
yourself
down.
after
Yeah.
it's a cool down thing. Yeah,
Calm after the storm.
right.
yeah.
but that's
know?
also great music
It's-
too. So I mean, it's just,
Yeah. I mean, jazz is not dead.
yeah.
No way.
Not at all.
No way.
Not at all.
So you obviously, but you guys didn't actually, because what the podcast kind of like that I do. Now I go out to the shows and podcast from it. But
I love
nobody was-
that.
Nobody was doing that back then. Not even when you guys were starting that.
I wanted to, but
really. So
I would
it
have
cost-
loved to do that. That would have been amazing. And when I saw you doing it, I was like, see, he has the idea. This is exactly what we need to be doing, is going to shows.
I'm glad I
'cause-
could start a spark.
And I'm glad.
But
'cause,
the point
ow.
is like, but you guys started it to where you had the visual, and I thought that was
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
like, well, if you got the visual, why not bring them out to the shows? Even if they can't make it, they get to still experience
Jump
something.
in between sets or whatnot.
Yeah, they get to experience something. It's like they're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
That
Having
aspect
that,
to me is fun.
having that video at the show, it's really awesome.
But like
Yeah.
just like how it is in the garage kind of thing. You're bringing that element.
Have you ever thought of grabbing that camera and walking in and being like, "So you want to watch a little bit of live?" Like,
It would probably
band?
sound like absolute dog shit.
yeah, because it's not hooked up to the audio and all that. Yeah,
It'd
you're
just
right.
be like,
I mean, unless it's a iPhone. iPhones do pretty well with audio quality at shows.
they do, but I mean,
they do
Jay-
better than.
Jason does that. Jason will take a walk through and
Yeah.
stuff, but it doesn't patch into the show.
yeah, but the problem
still,
is like
Yeah.
so I'd have to literally get up, take the camera, explain, talk as I'm
Like, check out, guys.
be that guy that
We're
just
going in.
talks. And yeah, we're going in.
Yeah.
and then bring it back,
dude.
maybe.
Try it.
Okay,
Try it
I'm
with
gonna-
me once.
Okay,
When
okay.
you see me at a show and you're doing your thing, just be like, "Hey, we're gonna go in there for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, just one song, and then just run back out, hook up, and continue going."
Or you could get a really long
What do you
cord.
guys think out there?
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
What do you think? I mean, why not? Like, you want to see the band playing, right? And if you can get some sort of good audio quality, which iPhone does very good, sponsor him and I. Just kidding. Can you
That
imagine?
would be amazing.
Oh man.
That would be amazing. But people are surprised that it only takes an iPhone to do this.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
video
seriously.
aspect.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is. It sounds good too. You know.
Which is a really weird segue because I'm going to leave you guys for the night. But
What a day and age.
I just I know it's sort of a hot topic right now, but this whole
Yeah.
thing with
Oh,
with
yes.
Rob.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that
from
was.
Alfred.
Oh, that's right.
We
Yeah.
should probably explain that to people who probably haven't seen it.
So basically.
So basically, the Judas Priest, Rob Halford, the legendary, the great Rob Halford,
Yeah. Show.
apparently, let me give some backstory. Apparently, at that show, it was decided there's no flash photography.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So that was a rule, right? And so I guess you had somebody in the front row doing it all night, where it was videoing and it had the flash on
And the
it.
flash was on
And
the
Rob
video.
got sick of it, and fucking the security wasn't doing shit.
Boom.
And so Rob Halford, as mid singing, he just fucking boom punched the fucker, just like straight in the air.
Yeah,
Kicked
he
him.
just kicked his
the motherfucker.
phone right up in the air, like bloop.
I love that.
It went like 15 people to the left. It was great.
I love that people
was funny.
are offended at that, but it's like, dude, if there's a rule and you break it, like, I don't feel bad for the consequences. Sorry.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
doesn't.
Seriously.
Well, wouldn't it be nice once in a while to not that it would pick up steam
Plus,
on
your
this,
front
but
row, though, dude. It's
well,
not
that's
like you're,
weird, right? And
it's
how
not-
much of your video, when you actually take, if you were to take video, do you actually go, "Hey, I'm going to post this"? Because isn't there other 500 other people that are already posting?
Yeah, and you're
stuff?
never gonna fucking
Yeah.
watch
And,
it.
and
You're
I
never
would
gonna
rather
those
watch a
videos.
show and get into the show than be trying to look around phones. And I'm
Yeah.
Oh,
sure
yeah.
a lot of people do that. And
You know, I do it myself, and it annoys the shit out of me when people do it in front of me. So I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like, but I only
Try being
do
a short
like,
guy.
But I only do like a minute of like a song that I'm like, you know what? I want just this little snippet. I'm not gonna do the whole damn show. You know?
and
but
this is
some
a,
people do that.
this is
Yeah.
a real quick thing for
It's
me is
brutal.
Insane.
because I'm old school. When I was going to shows, 80s, 90s, there wasn't any phones that were there, and if they were probably
Yeah.
big old bricks. But
Yeah, those ones.
but we never had that ability to do, which is a weird kind of like, well, if you did, would you have brought it? I'm sure people would have and stuff,
Yeah.
but maybe there should be some standards or some rules, or if they say no phones or whatever. And I get people texting and doing stuff maybe during a show, but holding it up and filming, it's like it's already probably filmed all over the place. So why have 500 people in front of you doing that? Just maybe it'd be better just to visually watch the show and appreciate it more, and maybe it would mean a lot more of a show than just to sit there and look at it, watch a live show through your phone,
yeah.
which is really kind of strange, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can ask Dad this question. Did you feel intimidated when you watched shows 30 years ago without a phone?
Not at all.
Okay, there you
I
go.
mean,
So
just 'cause
why are us
we were
us
watching
assholes,
the show.
the millennial generation feels so entitled to have your fucking phone 24/7? I don't know. Like, you can't live without it for fucking 2 hours.
Back
of
in the
your
day,
day.
that was considered
Yeah.
like bootlegging video and stuff, and yet there's enough of it around where somebody, whether they're super far back or
It's
not,
norm now.
but the fact that if you're that close to the actual stage,
Yeah, why would you do that?
I would much rather be. I
It's
paid
like
a
right
lot
there.
of money.
It's like,
yeah,
what, you're paid like
probably
$400
decent money for those tickets.
plus your
And
fucking
seriously,
I would
$50
be
T-shirt
more
and your
headbanging
$20 beer. It's just
Yeah.
like, why aren't you enjoying?
I think
the
I want to
fucking
make
show?
eye contact with you, not have you basically be the guy that you
But-
booted my
but here's
phone
the
into the
thing.
20th row.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Because then you look like a complete tool for doing that. You know?
Oh yeah.
But that guy was probably your age doing it too,
oh, yeah.
so it's
Oh,
kind
was
of
he?
weird.
Well, I don't know.
yeah,
I
he
mean,
was an older gentleman. It
I
wasn't
know.
like he was.
I didn't see the
fucking-
person in the thing. I just saw him like.
I mean, I saw the back of his head.
Back
He didn't
up,
look like
yeah.
a fucking teenager.
Yeah,
I can
you're
tell you
right.
that much.
You're right.
Yeah.
So like even like 60-year-old dudes do that too, and that bugs the shit out of me. It's like, dude, enjoy the fucking show.
Yeah.
You paid a lot of money.
Seriously.
Go enjoy it for 2
Yeah.
hours. You don't need. I really strongly agree with Danzig, and I think all shows
yeah.
should just be
Yeah.
no cell phones.
No cell phone.
No cell phones
Yeah.
permitted. You can live
Yeah.
without your phone for 2 hours. You know,
I think a lot of bands feel the same. Like a lot of bands are
then they
just
need
like,
to put it in their contract.
Yeah.
They need to say we will not play shows.
Can you imagine
all
if that
bands,
was like the norm?
It
Bands
needs to
started
be.
doing. Yeah,
Why
you
not?
were saying that earlier.
I think we had gone to a show before where you like had to check your phone in somewhere. I think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
Motorhead that one of their last shows, and that you actually had to go to a kiosk and check your phone or something. They didn't want phones inside. the venue.
Nice.
And it was a great
Yeah,
show.
I think
Now,
we
how you
did that
get
for-
you're talking 3,000 cell phones. I don't know how you figure that one out, but it's like maybe if they made a rule that said there's going to be no phones inside,
No,
then
no,
you
no.
just keep it in your car
Just keep
and
it
you don't
in
have to
the-
worry about
yeah.
that. You
What
know?
what
True,
needs
but
to
then you're
what
looking for
needs to happen
friends.
is when you buy the ticket, it should say no cell phones. Because then you
Yeah.
know what you're buying for. You know what you're paying for. So you can't have the excuse of negligence. You
Yeah.
know what you're fucking paying for.
So if they kick your damn phone out of your hand, it's
then you
it's
deserve
permitted,
that.
bro.
Yeah,
That-
you deserve
so,
that.
so again, back in my day, anyways, it was I think the actual ticket stubs, and I know a
Yeah.
lot of the older guys can vouch for
Yeah.
me. It was like no coolers, no binoculars, no alcohol, no
binoculars.
weapons. And it was very generic in nature, but I'm like, nobody really walked in with a cooler into a venue.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
it's just a 12-pack, you know. But so it's similar how it's they just don't want that. Now it's more just they don't want that distraction. It's not necessarily a danger, but it's more of a distraction.
It's a
than-
Yeah.
yeah. To us short people, it's a huge distraction, man. I fucking hate that shit. We went and saw Iron Maiden, and somebody was fucking doing that. I wanted to fucking ransack the shit out of that guy's knee. I would have
Yeah.
I should have
Well,
kicked him in the fucking kneecap.
There's a lot of different
'Cause he's like-
opinions on it, but
This, and I'm like trying to watch the show from around your phone.
Yeah.
Like, bro, come on. Get the
Yeah,
fuck outta
especially
here.
when you're behind this person.
Like, do
You're
you
like,
have any common sense to look me behind you and say, "Oh, there's a short
it
person"?
would be similar to
behind
holding up a sign where you just like I can't see anything. And
me." So why go to a show if that's the case?
yeah, well, if you're going to the show to see the band, you should see the band,
Yes.
not film the band. I'm not going
Yeah.
to film the band. That's why there's
Yeah.
photographers and folks that actually do quality
Of course.
video and what have you. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless there's a rule like that, it's always going to continue to happen, and maybe this incident will turn into something else. It might take off and make bands maybe make requirements. You never know. Is that going to stop? Then I'm not going to go. It's like, well, then
good,
someone
don't
else will
go.
take your ticket.
Yeah, don't
you know?
go,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
So-
seriously.
But
We don't want you there.
Yeah, it's a
Bye.
hot topic.
That's why it's great to be in like a speed metal band because there's moshing, so you can't really have your fucking phone because it'll get fucking destroyed. So you kind of let the audience do that for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why. I
But
think-
with Priest though, it's not really a moshing show, so it's like
Yeah.
fuck. You know?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
yeah.
Sit back and enjoy.
Anyway,
show.
Dad's got to sign
Yeah.
off.
So I'm leaving. So whatever. See you, everybody.
Good night, man.
Night, dude.
Heck
Thanks for coming on. So
yeah.
yeah, that goes back to what are your thoughts as far as like doing that for locals? Because I don't think it should be done maybe for local shows. I just think it should be done for if you're going to a big auditorium and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that would be amazing.
Like that needs to happen. For local shows, it's kind of imperative to film the bands to get them exposure because there's not really any exposure for them. With a big band like Priest, it's like, dude, everyone knows Priest. Everyone's there to see Priest.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different, scenario.
Yeah, completely. I mean, you think you would actually go and podcast at a big venue like that? I mean, I don't even think they would. I don't know.
No, not
What are you talking about?
not even that. No. When you go to a show, you need to have people filming the bands, like a song or two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you go see Priest, you don't need that. Everyone knows who Priest is.
Straight up. Yeah.
Or you should if you're into the style of metal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Especially if
mean?
you're
Like
there.
the
Especially if you're there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, think of the climate at hand as opposed to, like, being selfish.
Yeah.
Because you're not that important. Everyone is there to see. It's like when you go to a comedy show and you see a heckler. Like, you want to beat the shit out of that heckler. Doesn't matter who
Yeah.
you are.
Because you're
Some
like
drunk bitch is fucking ruining the show for you and the comic and everyone else. Like, no, dude.
not okay.
It's the
Yeah,
same
this
thing
is
with
not your
music,
show.
dude.
This is their show.
This is our show. This is
Yeah,
everybody's.
yeah.
Now you're fucking it up for everyone else.
Yeah, straight up.
I'm surprised that he didn't stop the song and just fucking say that asshole's got to leave. And then everyone would
Can you
fucking
imagine?
I would have said either he gets the shit kicked out of him or he fucking leaves. You take your choice. Bye-bye. Do you know what I mean? Because if you get fed up with something, like, Yeah, you're gonna do something like that. You're gonna kick the phone out of somebody's hand.
Right?
I would have just stopped the show.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion, and hopefully people share that opinion too. I know there's other whiners
of
out
people
there
do.
that say that it was uncalled for and blah blah blah, but it's like no, it wasn't really.
Well, I mean,
There were other ways to handle it, but I think if there's no flash photography breaking the rules and that happens, like, then it's justified a little bit.
yeah.
Because you only know one piece of a bigger picture on the internet.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, the internet doesn't tell the truth all the time, obviously.
And I think that's why podcasts
So-
are so important, because you get the full scope. You don't just get a snippet. You get the bigger picture, and that's probably why people like podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that why you fell in love with it?
I mean, I've always enjoyed being part of the conversation, just listening to it and hearing out, and even answering it while I'm talking. Listening to it. I've always been part of that. So it was cool starting a podcast.
And did people start to like kind of recognize you at like the bigger shows? Like, oh, that's Jay from Hellbound. So
I
you-
got it a couple times, not a lot, but like a lot of the local shows that they didn't know me, but friends have talked about Hellbound Podcast, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Hellbound. Oh yeah, that's right." They're like pointing at me. I know. All right. I'm like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's so
Sometimes I
rad.
get somebody to walk up and be like, "Oh yeah, Hellbound Podcast. I love your show," and I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Super cool.
But it's
though.
awesome. It's great.
super
I'm not saying who the fuck are you as in like, I don't like that they came up to me. Obviously, it's very flattering. I'm doing something right.
People are enjoying the content.
Yeah, definitely.
They're
Yeah.
enjoying it so much that they don't want to kill somebody.
Yeah,
If that's helping you out, then that's fucking great.
Yeah.
That's the point of podcasting for me.
definitely.
And music.
Another thing I love about podcasting and doing that is because like you have people around the world. You got people in Florida. You got people in the UK. I mean, Hellbound has that. We have people everywhere. So it's really cool seeing our following. I gotta log on there and see that again. I want to see like where our followers are.
You want to
stuff.
stroke your ego again? I get
Yeah,
it, man.
just
I get it. But it takes time to develop
Yeah.
like your brand too.
yeah. It was a long time, man. I mean, at the
You've been
beginning,
doing it for years, and then
Yeah.
suddenly
and they were
something
just-
changes, dude.
Yeah, I mean, life changes. We all get into things like our recent hiatus was, I crashed my car June of last year. So a year ago, practically tomorrow will be a year I totaled my vehicle, and I was like, well, I can't get to you because I live all the way out in here, and it's like get out of work, take a bus to him, then figure out how to get home after a 2-hour podcast at late at night when the buses aren't running, and Uber each Thursday. I was like, dude, I'm
No.
not going to spend that. And let's just relax. And when I get a car, we'll start podcasting again. And then I was like, well, even better, how about we just buy new equipment? And
In the
that'll,
meantime.
yeah. So we have new stuff for,
You guys were using
the
like
show.
a 16-channel board. It wasn't like
He had a huge board.
it wasn't
I
like
mean,
a
he
convenience.
he has a huge board. That's why he's like, oh, I don't want to go to shows. Like when I first pitched it to him, I was like, hey, why don't we like start jumping on?
You don't want to bring a 16-channel mixer to
Well,
shows.
of course, it's giant. It's huge. It's too much to lug around. So I totally get it. I mean, we need smaller stuff to be able to get to shows, which is awesome that you got to be able to do that, and you have the small
Thank you.
things.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate that.
Thank you.
You've come a long way with Poppitt's Corner in California, and
I appreciate that Razor
yeah.
and stuff. That means a
Yeah,
lot,
Razor,
dude.
yeah.
It's just it's a new niche to
heck yeah.
what you guys were doing, except I'm just
Good.
putting my own flavor to it. That's really
Good.
what podcasting is. It's
Oh, of course. Yeah.
because
I mean,
there were others that did this before me.
yeah.
Even though I was doing in California like before a lot of people, but that was out
I
of like
know.
a station. That wasn't out of like a garage,
I was just asked to see if I could have my own station on a radio, and I'm like, what?
Where out of?
I forget. I gotta ask her again.
Is it a college? Did she tell you it was a
um,
college or anything?
I don't think it's a college. I think it's a radio station, like an actual.
FM or is it internet?
Probably internet. I doubt it's FM, dude. I mean, can you imagine?
No, because
That means
the FCC
getting paid.
Well, and the FCC would be all over your ass on
Yeah,
your
okay.
language too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely
So
not.
you'd have to cut like
Yeah, definitely not FM then.
yeah. And plus, all you'd be doing
Yeah,
is
radio.
talking. But that's good though. We need radio stations to play the
Yeah.
music because I can't play music on here because of monetization. So it's just me talking about the bands.
Okay.
So if
Well,
you ever wonder why there's no music being played here, I don't want to take the chance because they've muted some of my videos beforehand
Yeah.
from playing
yeah.
music. So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm just gonna talk.
Yeah, we gotta ask them. We have permission for the band.
Doesn't
from the
matter,
band,
though.
and
They
this
don't-
is
they
this,
don't
and
know
they,
that.
They don't know that firsthand. Yeah, exactly. So
This
how
is
are we
just
supposed to-
delete.
Yeah,
Just,
delete, and you're
oh,
like, wait,
man.
hold on, we're offline. Hold on.
Yeah.
They just shut us. You know.
And it's just
Yeah.
a waste. So
Yeah, and stuff.
it still
Yeah,
sucks
especially if
that-
you don't notice that you're off and you just continue the show for how long?
Well,
Works
then
fine.
you have the audio at least. You can always
Yeah, at least you got
re-upload
that
it.
for the podcast versus the
Yeah.
Facebook
But
Live.
The point is like I wish I could play music on here,
yeah,
and so having a radio station is probably beneficial
yeah,
because a lot of people discover bands that way too. On like college radio stations, they play
yeah, yeah.
local style bands. And,
True.
you discover a lot, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome that they do that. That's really cool. I
And
would
you're-
love to do that. That'd be really.
You should take advantage of that.
Yeah, yeah,
You
for sure.
should.
I really should. I was talking about getting Hellbound onto it, but I might do my own thing on it.
Why not just do your
Why
own
not
thing,
do
dude?
my own thing on there? Because I mean, that's what we're here today is to talk about. Me branching off and doing some cool stuff.
Oh,
you know?
I did not know this.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I wanted to be on. Was kind of like I just wanted to do my own interviews, as well as Hellbound. I still want Hellbound is not done.
Well, you still have passion for it because it's your buddies and stuff.
We still enjoy what we're doing. We love it. But yeah, I definitely want to get into doing more than just metal. I want every genre. Just pick a little bit of this, pick a little bit of that, a little bit of that.
Now,
Even if it's like a rap group or
Well,
a rapper on the show.
If you name the show after something metal, then you're like
No,
confined to only doing
yeah.
that genre.
And that's what we had with Hellbound. Or we still have with Hellbound is
And that's
is,
great.
that's-
There's nothing wrong with
yeah,
that too. But
yeah,
it's nice
completely.
that you
It's-
want to, do something else.
Yeah.
Something more with it.
Yeah, because I love all kinds of genres. I mean, we were talking. We listened to both of us listen to jazz. I absolutely love blues. I love jazz. I love
Punk. I love
punk. Yeah, dude. Like I like a lot of street performing punk bands, Spud Pugs and
Yeah,
not anymore,
I
yeah.
stick to like the classics because
Yeah.
I'm that guy right now. I'm
Gotcha,
still
gotcha.
learning about more
Yeah.
punk music.
okay.
You
Yeah.
got to start with the classics and then kind of like branch
Yeah.
from the classics.
Yeah, on the first actually, on Saturday I have a show to go to. I forget what the dang show is called, but there's this local band called Spud Bugs. They're like a punkish.
Where at? Where are you
type,
going to see them?
I don't even know. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Why are you looking that up? Yeah, I'm going to a Saturday show. I think I'm going to go see Insecticide in Gardena,
Okay.
California, at the
All right.
Sideshow Studios. Big shout out to them. Sherman Jones is we did like a couple podcasts from like a rehearsal spot.
Okay.
So he has his own rehearsal studio
Yeah.
that like he rents things out. He rents spaces out to bands to play for 2 hours. He owns that, right? So it was
That's
so cool
cool.
of him. We got to rent out like the biggest thing, and it was on the house. It was so awesome. It was like barbecue. And
Oh,
I encourage
nice.
everybody to come down and
Yeah.
hang and have a barbecue, have a beverage, and sit down and talk shop on the podcast. So it
Okay.
was like podcasting, 50,000 bands that we were interviewing at at different times or whatever, and it was just a great communitative effort that I feel this scene really desperately needs.
Yeah. It really needs more of us. It definitely needs more of us.
So if
in
you're
here.
sitting on your ass right now, get to it, dude. Hop to it.
Seriously, man.
I just wanted to give a shout out to that, and I will be going to see Insecticide. And while
Hell
you're
yeah.
going to see Spud, what is it?
Spud
Bug?
Bugs. Yeah.
At what's the venue?
It's at Elysian Park actually. The show's called Punk's Picnic Volume 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's
so,
throwing it?
it is I don't know, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Oh, Spud Bugs is throwing it.
Okay, so it's their show.
Yeah, it's their show. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And they're actually first. They're at 3 p.m. and then there's other bands after them.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
hope you enjoy the show, man.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be taking my 2 clients with me
Ooh.
because I take care of multi-handicap individuals.
That's an interesting profession. Huh?
Yeah.
How did you land that gig?
Years ago, about 7 years ago, I decided to just take a chance at it. I just wanted to see if I could do it because I had a friend in high school. His name is Kenny, and he had Down syndrome. And one day he was doing karate chops and do this like Mortal Kombat thing that he just enjoyed doing at lunchtime by himself, just standing there doing his thing. And some guy was like throwing something at him and called him retard, and was like stupid retard, and threw something. So I came up and just just swung up on him and got in trouble. And
who cares? That guy should be
yeah. And I was like, dude,
for that.
what the hell? Like he was sitting there calling him retard. So after that,
this is before all the anti-bullying laws or whatever it is.
yeah, man,
because your actions spoke louder than him calling him
yeah, yeah. Definitely, but it sucked.
And that does suck.
It really sucked. And I just basically told him, you need to stand up for yourself, and he was like, well, you're not supposed to hit people, and I'm like, yeah, well, I know that.
You're also supposed to not.
Two wrongs don't make a right, but you're also supposed to
pick on people that are like.
Yeah. So I was like, you need to stand up for yourself. You can't. You have to defend yourself. You can't let people do that. Like that's not acceptable. So throughout high school I would just talk to him and say hi and how's your day going, this and this, and just we kept
right, because you are that kind of dude. You are that kind of personal dude that just goes up to everybody.
I talk to everybody, all of the kids, the rap group, the Asians, the smart kids, the jocks, the
like that in high school too.
Metalheads. Just constantly talking to everybody, man. Just talking to everybody.
I can what is it? I was the same way.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I can relate to that. It's important. It's important to never lose connections, and
it's true, man.
Because you can use them for anything, dude.
Of course.
It's great. So you were telling me that you wanted to do your own thing, right?
Yeah.
So when do you want to start doing this? Because I know I'm
in the works of buying
equipment and stuff like that.
Stuff. Yeah. I got to get a laptop and a mixer and the jacks for the jack for the
pretty much everything you see
headphones.
here.
Everything here. Yeah.
you got the list or whatever.
I have 2 mics. Yeah, and thank you for that list.
Yeah,
I
you
appreciate that.
I do
appreciate
that.
But
that is like bare minimum.
Yeah.
Anything you need for a fucking podcast.
Oh, for sure. Heck yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind you do, and I wish you the best of luck on the new podcast. Do you have a name for it yet?
Nah.
Don't tell me if you do, but just
I don't.
Nah. Okay.
No, nothing yet. I met with an artist recently Tuesday. Actually, you were doing Razor Radio. Duh. Yeah, and I jumped on there for like 5
big
10
shout
minutes.
out to Nikki Grasso from Grill 'Em All.
Heck yeah.
rules.
Yeah,
I
she's
love
awesome,
that
dude. That chick is so cool, man.
I love that place.
She's cool, man. Have you tried those pizza fries?
Pizza fries.
It's just marinara, cheese, pepperoni, all kinds of stuff in those fries.
I tried the high on high on fire fries? High on fries?
Oh yeah.
The one with the buffalo chicken and the
I've eaten those
cheese.
ones. Yeah,
dude, they were bomb.
That's been my new thing, man. Those fries at that place are bomb. And what they have is like you can do any burger on a fry. So any burger on the menu you can order as a fry, which is awesome. That's why she brought
and it's called the Napalm Death.
Yeah,
edition.
That's why they brought the Napalm Death fries.
Some other people have the animal style or whatever. They have the Napalm Death style. That's what you asked for.
No, they have a Napalm Death burger.
I know they do, but that's what they call
all the fries. Like
if you want it like 86 the bun.
Yeah.
You tell them you want it Napalm Death style. And
okay.
They fucking apparently that's what they. Maybe I have the information wrong, but
yeah, because she told me that any burger on the menu I can make into fries. That's what we do, and I was like, that's really cool.
I want a D. Schneider on a
fry.
So
exactly. That's what I was saying too when we were on the show.
Peanut
I was
butter
like,
jelly fries, dude.
Peanut butter and jelly fries sound really good, like really high and just.
There's bacon and sriracha. In
it
too, so it's like,
that's interesting as hell. That's funky.
And their Chipotle ketchup out there is pretty damn good.
Oh, I haven't even tried that. I don't like ketchup, so I just.
Oh, you're not a ketchup guy. You're that one white guy that doesn't like ketchup.
The only ketchup I'll fuck with is the ketchup from what's that burger joint?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I know. What the hell? Baker's. They have spicy ketchup, and I love their spicy ketchup.
How is Baker's?
They're very good. I guess they're like number 2 to In-N-Out, man. I mean, that's what I would think. I would rather Baker's because I never have it as much as...
I've never even seen one around here.
They're in the IE and stuff.
I like the
further
Farmer
out.
Boys. The Farmer Boys is good.
Farmer
dude.
Boys is good. They're just expensive as hell.
Yes, it is. But it's good.
They're
And
good,
now we
yeah,
have a lot of
bomb.
Canes popping up too.
I don't even know what Cane's is.
The chicken finger place.
Oh, I have no
yeah,
idea.
there's a bunch of them popping up
Cool.
around
Alright.
SoCal, but
Yeah.
it's delicious if you're into chicken fingers or whatever. But you need to have ketchup with it,
Yeah, with cat. Oh,
with like chicken fingers.
what, like 5-year-old style? You gotta have the ketchup with your
Yeah,
chicken.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Why not?
interesting. I never did that when I was a kid. It was always like ranch or hot sauce. Always,
Oh.
always hot sauce. Hot sauce for everything, man. Today I bought some hot sauce and it sucked. It was terrible.
What?
It was
what
very
kind?
vinegary.
Oh, okay.
It was very vinegary. It was like I don't even remember what it was called.
You gotta have the thick hot sauce. I like that thick
Yeah.
stuff, dude.
Yeah, not that vinegar stuff like Tabasco. I can't stand Tabasco. I
I
don't know
love
if you like it.
Tabasco.
Oh, you like Tabasco?
Do you put
Oh, I
Tabasco
can't.
on pizza? Holy shit.
I rather sriracha on pizza. If you.
That's good too. I've
Yeah.
tried, but I just love hot sauce.
Yeah.
Tapatio is fucking the
Oh,
same
yeah,
way, dude.
Tapatio.
I
Yeah.
love all that
I
shit.
call tapatio. I call it a tapatio when I go.
Tapatio?
Yeah, when I go to restaurants and I ask like a Mexican restaurant or something, I'll ask them. I was like, can I get the tapatio? And the lady like double takes. Wait, what? What did you just say? Oh, the tapatio. You know, the hot sauce, the tapatio. And she's like, tapatio. And I'm like, yeah, that.
Oh my
Just
god.
to mess with them. Just
to get extra fucking spit in
just
their
to get a
fucking-
laugh. Oh no, that would suck if
and-
they. Oh, I don't mess with people that make my food like that.
Apparently you
Just
do though.
making them laugh. It was
Oh.
just a laugh thing. I hope it's just a laugh thing. Can you imagine? They're like, "Oh, you smart ass. How about this? You Trump loving son of a." Which I'm not. But I mean, either way,
It doesn't matter if
Let's
you
let's
were
not
not.
even. Yeah, let's not even get into
It
that.
wouldn't make that much of a difference. To
Yeah, but
me.
you know how people are. They just.
I have my own views.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
everybody
leave it
has.
at that.
Yeah, everybody
That's
has
it.
their own views. Yeah. Well,
So anyway,
let's just not
Well,
get to that.
the point is, you don't want extra flavor in that fucking hot
Yeah,
sauce.
no, thank you.
Extra,
now-
yeah,
now that
extra
I-
watery. It's fucked up.
She's like, she licks the, it just licks the top of the.
Well, you
Tapatio.
you would know that because her mouth would be fucking burning. She'd be
Yeah.
crying. She'd be like, kind of like tears rolling. She'd be like, "Oh, I know what you just did." You know.
Yeah, some people take the heat, man. I'll do it. I'll
Fuck
sit
yeah.
there and
But anyway, hot sauce on everything goes great.
hot sauce on everything. Yeah.
Love it, dude. Well, Jay, I appreciate you stopping by. We
Yeah.
got like a good solid hour out of this.
I appreciate
and,
that, man.
I know it's short and sweet, but
Yeah.
hopefully, you do more stuff in the future. I'd love
course.
to check out what you're doing. If
Yeah.
people want to check out what you're doing now, the only thing that we have is Hellbound
Yeah.
for you as of this moment. So you can check them out. Facebook.com/ like Hellbound Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, Hellbound Podcast.
And is there any more future episodes in the works for that, or just still in talks?
Yeah, we're changing from Thursdays to possibly Saturdays.
Sick.
We're trying, cause you know how life goes. We all get different jobs or whatever it may be, or things come up in life and shit changes.
Most people have the
So-
weekends off.
Yeah,
most
exactly.
people
So he's like, dude, we can do weekends. So we're gonna pick up back on there. But yeah, if you want to follow us on Podbean, it's hellbound .podbean.com. We got iTunes. It's itunes.apple.com/us/podcast, Hellbound Podcast. Yeah, that's where we're at. And you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. And stay tuned for my own interviews soon.
I'm gonna like.
And
I kind of like where this
Yeah.
is going, dude.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you're also gonna do different stuff with that besides interviewing bands. You'll have other aspects, which is great.
Yeah,
Love that.
Yeah, I have a little thing I was talking to you. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
well, no,
mention
you have
that
some
just yet
tricks, but
because
I wasn't mentioning that. I was saying like different kind of genres. I
Oh,
greatly-
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
that's what you told
yeah.
us.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I thought you were talking about
What?
other
No,
things we were talking about.
no, I was only mentioning stuff that's actually public now. So
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'm excited for you. That's
yeah,
all.
thank you.
Jay, thank you very much. I appreciate
Yes,
it,
I
man.
appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Episode 32, I believe this is.
Yeah.
Mr. Jay Nemeth. Go check him out. Hellbound. Thanks for all that you do, my man. And we'll see you next time.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
out, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers.